All right, Smithy, the time has come, mate. Get ready. We're going to take our first ever call on Ain't That Swell Talkback.
Jaymin, yeah.
Welcome to Ain't That Swell, brother.
Oh, mate, boys.
Yeah,
Love
bro.
it.
Ain't That Swell Talkback.
Yeah, boys.
First guest.
Mad.
Mate. Oh, I love the show, guys. It's mad. It's like 12 o'clock here in Norway.
That's right. You're in Norway, mate. Unbelievable.
Yeah, mate. In Stavanger on the west coast.
Hei, dette Magne G. Hodne, og nå har vi på revet All-Star. Nyt det.
Jeg tenker, alle kan vel komme seg inn i en tube. Hvis det er en tube der, så kommer du deg vel inn i den.
Ja, men altså, nå...
Men blir det fette godt det du skal lage i dag, da?
Det blir fette godt, og det er fette sunt. Og så lurer jeg på om det blir fette kaldt.
Nei.
Fordi,
Det funker ikke.
I really think that no one owns a spot. No one has a right to say it's mine or you're not welcome here. I think that the ocean is free for everyone to use and enjoy as they please.
Testicles.
Velkommen til en ny episode av Revet All-Star, strekt inne fra Spygerteltet på Revet. Mitt navn er Ivar. Og i dag har jeg med meg en flott besøk i Spygerteltet. Jaymin, god dag.
Hey boys, how are you? How is everyone out there?
Good. Og du Per, god dag.
Ja, igjen.
Vær så god. Takk, kjekt å ha deg her.
Helvete.
Jeg bare prøver å ha litt høyere intensitet.
Jeg merker at du plutselig bare skjøtter, du følger fast i... Er du enda der hvor du var i går?
Nei, jeg har spist 5 pizzastykker nå, så nå er jeg litt ned på. Jeg har liksom sakket meg selv litt ned.
Ramones hadde en jævlig fin sang som heter Somebody Put Something in My Drink. Jeg tror det er den vannfontena på jobben din som er spiket... Siden du har begynt på kontoret igjen, så er du en helt annen mann.
Jeg tror det er spiket, det er corporate spikes.
Jaymin is becoming some sort of an podcast all-star, by the way. So he's already in Oz on the podcast, on the Swellians.
Have you already been?
Yes, I'm actually. And you know what? I'm kind of bummed because I didn't throw in a shout out to...
It's getting too big.
Yeah, you know, it was 12 o'clock at night and they called me, so I kind of, I wasn't thinking straight. But
you can give a shout out to them now from here.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Spillians. Yeah, Jen Vaughan. Get your corn rinsed.
You must be one of the most far north Swellians on the planet. I can't think of too many crew who would be further north than you. What's the deal? How'd you wind up in Norway?
I was traveling the world as we all do, and I met a Norwegian girl, and I came up here for a bit of in out, and that was like in 1998. It was like 22 years ago or something.
Wow.
So I at first I started. I moved here, and I met a bunch of guys at a surf shop. So I hooked up with them straight away, like started running a surf school. So, and realised, you know, I was just like a kid in a candy store because I'd have like 8 chicks turn up to the surf school every weekend or during the week or whatever. So, yeah, I was hooked, mate, from day one.
Classic, man.
I just told them a little bit more about my story. They wanted to know actually who the local call lords were.
What does that mean?
Well, like, who's the local legends around here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of got brain freeze because I was thinking, no, it's no legends. I threw out, shout out to Royal Burger, believe it or not. Yeah, Roy. We love you, mate. He is the original call lord, so you can never really...
Yeah.
You can't really... Once you mention Roy, you're just like... Yeah, there's no one... You're kind of thinking that's where it started, so that's as far as the story goes, you know? He's like Adam, in the Bible as far as surf in Norway.
He's the split Adam.
He's the Genesis, yeah. And we all kind of just come after that.
He serves all the bombs anyway, so yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah.
I dag så skal vi snakke med Joel, som har vært med å lage en film som heter The Icebox. The Icebox er filmen om en mann og en bølge. Mannen er Joel Stevenson, og bølga det er et beist av en slab som ligger på Østlandet. For å komme seg til The Icebox så er det mye arbeid som kreves. Du må gå, du må kjøre, du til og med tar båt, eller padle langt for den seg selv. For å komme til et helskens beist av en bølge. I denne filmen så forteller Joel både om seg selv og jakten på bølge og hvordan han har klart å få det til og alt dette her. Filmen var i 20 minutter, det tåler du. Hvor du finner den, litt usikker på internett.
I get contacted by people I don't know, asking, can you take me there, or can you tell me where it is? I'd really like to go out there and surf that wave. I think that the ocean's free for everyone to use and enjoy as they please. No one owns the spot. No one has a right to say it's mine or you're not welcome here. But you can't use giving someone something as a way of gaining trust, respect and friendship. It's not that hard to find, but you have to put in the effort to find it. It's somewhere around there, tucked away in a nice little hidden spot.
Den filmen, hvis du vil høre en anmeldelse av den filmen, så må du høre den foregående episoden av Reve Allstars, som du finner i Reve Allstars-feeden, hvor Reve Allstars egen Paul Bang-Hansen, Rune Bang-Feiling, anmeldte filmen. Ja, så den anbefaler vi sterkt å høre. Altså anmeldelsen den også var nesten like god som filmen, minst. Ja. Og det er en veldig god film.
Og så var den lengre enn filmen.
Ja.
Ikke minst. Så den var ganske grundig.
Det bare et lite spørsmål. Rune mente han så litt he looked a bit depressed,
yeah.
Joel.
Yeah, I heard. But I think Joel's just a super ruly guy, you know what I mean? And the poor guy's over here, I know the feeling. Yeah. It's just like you come from, palm tree paradise, north coast beach town, and you end up surrounded by cold winter half the year, you know, and dark, and he's probably surf starved.
Yeah.
So that's probably, the problem is it's like you don't have many hobbies growing up in those places. Everyone's a waterman, you know, fishing, surfing, the whole lot. So when you take him out of that, it's almost like you run out of activity. You forget what else there is in life to do. So it gets a little bit, gloomy and doomy.
Yeah, but Rune had a glorious idea, and then that was the Perkavanien. Den deprimert oss i hotline.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you should be the
you should be the answering organizing person. Is like for depressed sexual refugees hotline.
Yeah. No. Actually, I could probably help with some
tips and tricks on how to survive the first 5 winters.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel.
Okay, son.
Hang on a second, mate. I'll connect you to the...
Nej, men jeg ringer ham på Messenger. I think we should call you on Messenger because the reception is really dodgy, pal.
Okay, well then...
So, did you get my friend's invite on the Facebook?
Yeah, I did.
Because I couldn't call you unless we were friends. I mean, thank you for accepting me as your friend.
Yeah, we're friends now.
You can block him after, it's all good.
Good, just give us 1 minute, I'll call you back, yeah.
I think it's the ringer lead.
Okay, try again.
Oh, this is so much better.
Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, definitely sounds a bit clearer.
Good day, Joel. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Just a busy day at work, and it was a bit crazy this morning. There's plenty of snow dumping down here last night, so it was really slippery on the roads driving to work this morning. I almost slid into the back of a car, and
shit.
It was a very close call.
Whereabouts in Norway are you situated?
I'm living in Crookroy, which is just a little little town just out of Fredrikstad.
På Kråkerøy. My mother's from there.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a nice little area. It's kind of quiet considering it's so close to Fredrikstad city.
So, Joel, congratulations on the release of your new movie, the Icebox. Holy shit,
Yeah,
that was a banger, huh?
Yeah, well, it was quite difficult to put it all together. You know, it's like when we planned on putting it together and doing it, it was quite consistent the previous years to that, but things just kind of started slowing down and getting fewer and far between those good days, and yeah, it was kind of quite challenging. You know, it's not like in other countries where you've got waves coming around all the time.
Not really.
What was the total? How long did it take to put together from start to finish?
Yeah, well, it was over pretty much 3 seasons, 3 years. So it kind of, I think it dragged out over the last one. Like we were just trying to get a few more good days and try and upgrade a few of the waves, which were originally put in there as the pick of the choice.
Yeah, sure. No, it was definitely legit, mate. There was some solid ones in there. It was good.
Yeah. In the end, we just decided to settle with what we had and run with it.
I saw that one of the old Jaren boys, Mats Kjellström, was involved in the project as a water photographer.
Kjellström?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd been previously, before I started working with Fredrik, doing some filming. I'd been doing some sessions out there with Mats, and yeah, that was quite good to have someone in the water with me and take a couple of quality shots. You know, like I hadn't really had much opportunity to, take anyone out there with a good camera. So
you're telling everyone about this. Well, I guess you weren't telling everyone. Maybe the closest about these mad waves you're getting, and you had nothing. I noticed you started with the solo shot after a while, just to at least capture a few.
Yeah, well, it was just more or less when you're out there by yourself. It's good to sort of, like, you're challenging yourself more than anything. You're sort of like, oh, is it worth taking risks? There's no one's even going to see this barrel. There's a lot of consequences.
I'm putting my life on the line here. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's always good to come home and sort of just run through the footage and have a look and see what you got, and it also helps you to sort of gauge your positioning in the lineup and also the waves that you pull back on, which is quite many out there.
Yeah.
You sort of get to see what the wave does after and sort of see whether it was something that you could have taken.
Sure.
So, yeah, I just started filming my sessions and sort of getting an idea of what was going on with the waves that I wasn't catching.
Yeah. Did that give you a good overview? Like, when you're looking back, were you kind of thinking, was there many of those that are you glad you pulled back on those waves? Or?
Well, it's quite many, but I think it comes down to, like, a lot of it is instinct, like you sort of
course,
gauge whether or not you're going to make the drop, and if you don't feel like you've got that, like a good chance, then there's no point in giving it a shot, because you don't make it, you're getting dragged across the rocks every time, and it's a bit of a bumpy ride. So,
could you for the listeners who haven't seen the movie yet or don't exactly know what the wave is, could you just describe it, how it is getting out there and being in the water and taking off and everything?
Yeah, well, it's kind of in a pretty remote little spot there. Like you can't see it from the road, or there's no car park or anything sort of where you can watch the waves from the car, so you pretty much don't know what you're looking at until you get out there. It's a bit of a trek. It's easier to get to it by boat, and then you sort of don't really know what it's going to be like till you get there, and you just sort of sort of paddle out there. The rocks out there are super slippery. It's just granite, really slimy granite rock, and getting across the rocks and getting in and out is a bit of a mission. You pretty much just paddle out around to the back of it, and it's running across a bit of a dry shelf. It depends on the angle of the wave, the way that it's breaking, and how the sections are connecting, depending on how much water is going to be at the bottom when you take off. So,
if
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes you sort of take off and then get into a barrel and it just sort of runs dry on you, and you're sort of like, oh shit, I didn't make it to the channel on this one. It just you have to sort of jump off before it takes your fins off.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it looks gnarly.
I like photography, so I have to hva heter skryte på engelsk.
Brag. Shout out.
Brag.
Yeah.
Shout out to the photographers, the cinematography. I mean, the photos in the movie are fucking brilliant. Huh?
Yeah. Well,
I thought the same. It was great.
You know, it's only a short wave, you know, so it's only like a couple of second barrels inside the barrel at the most, and depending on how sort of deep you take off. So you've got to get as deep as possible, and you know, where it makes it challenging because you've still got to get to the end of the ledge before it runs out of water. So it's easier to take the ones that are a little bit deeper because you can run across and get a line with a bit of speed through the barrel rather than taking off on a wedge that sort of leaves you flat at the bottom with no speed and trying to negotiate, you know, getting to the channel with no speed is sort of, a bit tricky.
Yeah, it looked like there was a couple that you get like the chip in a little bit. You kind of get a little bit more time to get up and get into them. Or
yeah.
I guess you've probably played it over in your head 1,000 times. The ones that you just can't get to, but it's the kind of place
that you're definitely looking for.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't seem like the place a regular guy could just paddle out and expect to master it. It looks definitely one of those kind of places that, takes a bit of...
I've had a couple of crew that have, found their way up there and come out for a paddle and haven't really had much experience with understanding how waves break. They sort of just think, oh, here's a wave, turn around and take it. And, he sort of turned around and was looking over his shoulder, just like trying to wait for the wave to catch up to him. And he wasn't looking at, the way that the wave was going to break. And he just sort of paddled for it and didn't turn around and look forward until the wave was picking him up and about to throw. And I suddenly realised the wave's sucking dry and he's pulled back and just got sucked over with the lip. And I've just gone, no, like, what are you doing? It puts you in a vulnerable position because you're thinking, like, if this guy gets hurt, I'm the one that's got to drag him to the hospital.
All that extra work.
It's so funny. Me and Ivar were standing the other day at the beach, and there was this old couple walking into the rocks, and I was looking at Ivar, I was like, look at them. I said, I hope she doesn't fall into the rocks, not because I don't want her to hurt herself, but it's us who have to drag her back to the road.
And that's just the small walk you had. You had the fucking trek and everything with the boat and...
Yeah, it's a bit of a mission, and especially if someone's to like do a back injury or something where you can't carry them. It's a bit of a scary situation. Thinking like, what do you do? You pretty much have to call that, ASC rescue or whatever you call it here. Get a chopper out there or something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Bondi Rescue.
We're going to do a quick shout out to. We talked to Wes Schaffner a couple of weeks ago, and he told us he had been joining you a couple of years ago. I guess I think 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen him out there.
Yeah, all his kids,
how has the reception been for the movie? Has it been any buzz around town?
I've had just a local crew that I've met and surfed with at Salt Stain. People that I've had doing board repairs for over the years, and a couple of people that I've made some boards for. But it's been mostly all positive and just stoked, just to see something produced other than just the stuff that comes out on Instagram.
For sure. And in Dagen's Narringslev a couple of weeks ago, it was a really, it was super cool article. The shots were great. I thought it was really, I had like, all my friends that are kind of like a little bit kind of like half surfers, like sending me these links going, who's this guy? Do you know this guy? Who's this guy? So there was a lot of buzz, mate. Like, surfing in Norway is kind of cool because it's still a little bit exotic. And, I kind of feel with your story behind it and the whole, You know what I mean? Search mission and the rest of it. I mean, you know, it's just it's a recipe for a good storyline. You know, because everything's quite extreme. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think getting to the age that I'm at now, you're looking for a little bit more than just the average turn up at the same beach and try and bang out a couple of turns. Try and, you know, create a few memories and some adventure in your surfing rather than just, you know,
2 hits to
go
the
out
beach
there and just about going out there and catching waves.
Yeah.
How do
I
you?
think especially coming from, I was living on the Gold Coast before I moved here, you know, and there's so much crowd, and it really kills your enthusiasm for surfing. Your passion sort of gets crushed a little bit. Yeah. So I think coming here and seeing the whole scene of the way that there's no one in the water.
There's no aggression. You find that in Oz it has that aggression, really takes it out of you sometimes, doesn't it? It takes the buzz straight out. You know, you just feel it in the air.
Competing for every wave, you know, and, you know, like having to, you know, see the frustration in other people's, you know, faces when they're out there, and knowing like, you know, you just got to deal with it every time. Everyone's sort of at that level where they're just fighting each other for positioning, and, you know, you're sitting out there and not catching the best waves during your surf because, you know, someone's on the inside of you or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you notice? How does you were mentioning it in the movie as well? You're getting older and everything. How do you notice getting older on your body? I guess in the water.
Yeah, well, you know, like I think because I had a bad knee injury when I was younger, and it sort of limited my my ability to sort of push myself in the shittier type of surf, and I'm actually more scared of probably more chance of hurting myself in weaker sort of beach break waves than what I would be surfing those slabs and stuff. You know, you can slip and fall or twist your knee the certain way, and all of a sudden you've busted your knee and you're out of the water.
Yeah.
Whereas
that's more from turns than it is pulling into a slab.
Yeah, well, you know, like once you find your feet and you've made the drop, you pretty much feel like
you're locked in.
You're locked into autopilot from there.
Mm.
So it's the safe option, the Icebox, the safe option. Yeah. That should be the name of the movie.
We gotta start promoting slab surfing as a safe way to start.
But Joel, could we just take you back to Australia? Where did you grow up back in Australia?
I grew up on North Stradbroke Island. It's an island out off Brisbane. It's just north of the Gold Coast.
Is this close to you, Jaymin, or is it?
I'm New South Wales. He's a Queenslander. I'm he's a cane toad and I'm a cockroach.
yeah. And back in the days, we were kicking ass over the cockroaches.
Screw those cane toads.
So you grew up by the water basically, and you were in a board riders club and everything.
Yeah, just that. We had a local board riders club, which, you know, it had a pretty good amount of talent. Still does. You know, like B. Durbidge and Ethan Ewing have grown up through that board riders club as well.
Right, it's stacked. It's an amazing spot there's a lot of good surfers up there.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, it's just that there's so much focus on just life is the beach, you know, over there. There's nothing else to do. You go fishing and surfing. So you come home from school or work or whatever, and it's just head straight to the beach. It's what everyone does.
Yeah, that's why I guess you struggle a little bit in the winter and the shitty weather.
Yeah, if you should listen to the other podcast where we critiqued
our film critic.
Yeah, you will hear our film critic notice there was a certain kind of a depression on your face during the movie as well. So maybe we can clear it up. You're not a depressed person, are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can be after about a month without a surf.
I told you guys.
That's everybody listening having the same problem. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not really. You know, I think it was just the moment Fredrik catching that moment filming.
Yeah. But seriously, I mean, the effort that went into the movie making. I mean, I saw 8mm shots. They were done properly, right? So it was not like a filter, 8mm filter. So the boys went all. They went super all in.
Yeah, well, you know, like Fredrik, he was coming out of he did it for his education, was studying film, and like that was.
I think it's media. Was it media, film, whatever?
Yeah, film and media.
Yeah.
So that's how we first met. Was he was actually doing his major for his film and media. He had to make a movie, and he got in contact with me, and we made a small film out at Icebox, just for his major assignment.
And how did that work out for him? What, like, did he get?
Yeah, good. Yeah, he did really well out of it.
That's
and
fantastic.
You know, he was quite happy and did something completely different to what everyone else was bringing in.
I think, Joel, you know, because you're not, you know, like I think in Norway, you know, you don't have to. Back home, there is so much competitive, and the waves look the same. So you're looking for, you know, the best turn, the best air. You know what I mean? Like it's all so on edge, extreme. You know, but when you come to Norway, I noticed I got the same vibe when I watched Freddie Meadows' movie a couple of months back. It's all about this. It's all about the journey. You know what I mean? And I kind of felt like in your film, it was a similar. I got that similar kind of inspiration to go search again. You know what I mean? Because it was like, you're not. I kind of feel like. I mean, as far as surfing goes in Norway, you know, we don't have the elite, you know, like amazing professional guys that live and surf here, you know. But the thing about Norway that kind of captures me is, you know, the story and the journey, and you know, seeing those pictures of waves and huge mountains, or you know, the snow on the beach still just blows me away. So it's still probably the same for you, you know, like growing up in Oz. I mean, even now after all these years living here, I still kind of get this funny when I see snow on the beach or whatever. I feel like a kid. It freaks me out. You know what I mean? It's like this feeling that it's crazy.
New buzz. Yeah, it's unreal. You know, it's something that you first time I came to Norway when I surfed here, even just putting on a 6'5" wetsuit and going out there and being warm in the water, I was just buzzing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, this is just a whole new experience for me. It just feels so weird to...
It's like another sport, isn't it? It's yeah.
So you're just adding into a whole new extreme sort of level of experience, you know, just by going out in these freezing conditions, and then, you know, then going out and finding good waves and you know, places with these extreme mountains and nature out behind the surf. You know, it just leaves you with this feeling of fulfillment, you know, that you just don't get from just surfing those places back home in Australia, where you're turning up at the beach and waiting for those classic days.
I think you appreciate it a little bit as you get a bit older as well, because I mean, you know, it's a little bit more than just, you know, doing a, you know, making sure you get three or four super good waves and you do 5 turns on each wave, and if you don't, you come in, you're depressed. You know what I mean? You kind of it goes beyond that. It's like just that.
You really have to, like back home in Australia, if you have if you're not having a good session and you're falling on the turns that you're hoping to be able to make, to sort of come in frustrated, and the whole focus is on your own performance of how well you surfed in that session. But here you can kind of go out and just the fact of sitting out there and just looking around at what's around you, and that you're able to sit out there with just one of your mates or something and have a laugh and talk while you're having a surf, and being able to pick the best of each set without having people you don't know sort of spoiling the moment for you.
Yeah, for sure. It's something, there's a charm about it. It's hard to describe.
It is. I get the feeling, since it's we saw that supernatural snowboard contest the other day. Surfing in Norway, or surfing in places like Norway or up in the regions, it's like backcountry snowboarding.
Yeah,
you are you're sitting in that nature part, you know, and as you said, you don't do 5 turns and all the radical stuff like in backcountry. Like the 720 is the biggest trick that they pull, even though the same people do 1860s in the park.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's all about the style moves. You know, it's like the you know, just the stylish 180s or the methods, or you know, just it's the old school turns that kind of like
it's kind of
that shine the most. Yeah.
That's the feeling I get from Norway.
I think surfing in Norway, it kind of reminds me of It reminds me of those old surf movies where you see in the 60s and stuff, you know, when they were kind of exploring and surfing new spots, and you know, there was none of that crowd factor or anything like that.
It was about the adventure, Yeah.
About pure basics of surfing.
Yeah.
Take away all the sponsorship and all the, you know, the high level of surfing or whatever. It was just about just going chasing some waves with your friends and seeing what's out there.
You're kind of opening up a new region there, say it like that. People have I mean, I know very well where we talked about it, where everything is, because I grew up there, and we had our summer house right there. And
where in Germany was this?
that was once it still was German. No, but so I know it's there's so many islands, there's so many slabs around. You know, you still out there looking for other spots, or
yeah, well, you know, I've pretty much around that area, you know, like along that coastline for whatever 5 kilometers or whatever. I've taken the boat out and sussed out pretty much all of what I could see within like a 1 kilometer range or 2 kilometers off the coast. I don't really know the potential of each spot yet, because it can be like a long time in between the right sort of forecast that they need, and sometimes it might need like a big swell with a certain wind, and those winds are very rare, so I haven't really been able to go out there and check it when it's sort of prime conditions.
I guess if the icebox is breaking and you haven't been out in the water for a couple of weeks or whatever, you want to get in the water, you probably don't want to use that time going around looking for other places. You're probably stoked just to get a few barrels.
Yeah, well, you know, like you've got your particular type of forecast, which you know that the icebox is going to be working, and if it's right for there, then you're going to head straight there. But what I've been searching for is sort of waves that break on different forecasts that the icebox doesn't work on. And you know, I found a couple, or at least one, that's sort of breaking on something that's opposite, you know, swell directions and wind directions to icebox.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's where we're a little blessed over here on the West Coast, because it's pretty open, so you get all the swell directions and winds. There's always a place to go, you know, whereas you're kind of condensed to a certain swell and a certain direction, I guess.
Yeah, West is definitely open to a lot more exposed swell directions and picking up a lot more than in here. It's kind of like a small window of, you know, like swell directions that you can get.
Hey Joel, I hate to change the subject a little bit,
but
can we talk about how you're going with your boards, your shaping? And can I just mention for the viewers out there that your brother's quite a famous shaper. Could you tell us a little bit about your relationship with your brother?
Yeah, well, you know, like we grew up on the island, and it was around, you know, when I was like 21 or something. I was planning to move down the Gold Coast and try and start working and get into the surfing down there, where it was a little bit more action going on than the island. But then I destroyed my knee and ended up staying back there for a couple of more years to recover from that. And in the meantime, he'd moved down there and started working for Pipe Dream Surfboards, which was quite big on the Gold Coast at the time.
Your brother's name's Jason, by the way.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah.
Shout out to Jason.
Darren Hanley from DHD was working there at the time. Yeah. So they all got to know each other and were friends. And after a few years, Darren went out on his own and started his own business and said, you know, Jason, you know, I see you got potential. I want you to come with me. Sort of taught him everything he knew and got him into like ghost shaping boards for DHD. And he was there for a few years. Then I moved down there, and I was just sort of, you know, doing other stuff. I wasn't working with boards or anything for a few years. But when Jason went out on his own and started JS Surfboards, then I jumped in and joined with him, and just got into.
Tell us about the team. What team? He's got like Parko, and who's he shaped for?
These days, well, I think Luke Egan's back on there now. He's sort of went and then come back. He was one of the original guys that my brother started making boards for.
Yeah. There's a lot of pro surfers riding JSs, or were, you know, through the years. You know, they kind of jump on different
We had
boards.
Andy Irons as well when he was back with
That's right.
Billabong.
Yeah.
My brother had a contract for Billabong Surfboards, so he was shaping all of Andy Irons' boards. And Bruce Irons as well, and Parko's had a whole bunch of guys. Sonny Garcia was for a while there when he was back in the day, like 10, 15 years ago, whatever.
Did you guys? Was it your brother that kind of? I mean, you were working with boards and in the factory quite a bit. Where'd you pick up your shaping skills?
Well, I done shaped a couple of boards back home. It was sort of like I just shaped some boards for my daughter, and just sort of have a go on a couple of blanks.
I guess you had the opportunity because everything was there, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I used to sit in the room, watch and chatting with the shapers while I was at work, and just watching them shape boards, watching them go through all the process of, each stage, what they're doing, and I sort of just had an eye for it because I was a sander as well, and I was sanding 10 boards a day for 6 or 7 years. I was just smashing out so many boards, and you're sort of just fine-tuning those shapes after they've been glassed, So
you're
looking them
they
over.
Call it the second shaper. The guys actually these days talk more about the glasses sometimes than the actual boards themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, so, you're getting an eye for all the lines and curves and how everything's supposed to look. And I think just from surfing all those years and having a feel for, how your rails are supposed to feel and, what your boards, you want them to feel like. I think that's a big part of it as well, is being able to go out there and ride a board and understand, like, how it's supposed to feel and understand if something doesn't feel right and what part of the board is not making that work. So
if anyone is after an infusion surfboard by Joel Stevenson, where do they contact you? I noticed you shaping one for Terrier.
A
big board.
The green one?
Yeah, the green one.
Yeah. He tried calling me tonight. I had to hold him off. I'm going to call him back after I finish talking to you guys.
That's the right priority.
Yeah, say good day.
I should mention, I went into to a local slab here a couple of months ago with our mutual friend Perane Sal. And he mentioned you had made a board for him, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, for Perry.
For Perry.
Perana.
Yeah. He said that he was riding his normal all-around board, which was way under volume for surfing slabs, because the more volume that you can get under your chest to paddle into waves, the more chance you're going to get in early enough to make the drop. And then that's basically it's the main focus on being able to make these waves is just making the drop. And once you're that's the hard part, and the rest is sort of getting in the barrel and, picking the right line.
Exactly, yeah.
How much rail you got on these boards?
Thickness-wise,
I'm 85 kilos, and mine are up around 2 3/4. So I've probably put on, gone up from like 2 5/8 or something to 2 3/4. Just for surfing these type of waves.
I just think it's great that we have someone of your shaping caliber in the country, because no one's actually ever really shaped boards in Norway before, and no one's ever lived here long enough to understand the waves. So, I'm looking forward to hitting you up one day, mate.
It's kind of been a fun journey, because I just started off just by wanting to just shape boards for myself, because it was just too hard to get them sent over from Australia. If you break a board or something, and all of a sudden you're on the phone or sending an email saying, I need another board, and it could be like 2 months before it actually gets here.
Yeah.
And it's a bad position to be in, have to wait that long.
Yeah, for sure.
Just being able to, talk to people and get to understand what they're needing and try and work with them to try and get that perfect board, working for them. And I just think that the whole system with ordering boards online, it gets a little tricky when you want something particular and a certain volume, but if you go up in volume, you're going to end up with a thicker rail on the board, which doesn't suit your body weight, and that whole thing just doesn't really work if you want a board that's going to be easier to paddle. So being able to sort of work with someone that can do that for you, but then thin out the volume of the rail so you can still bury it through your turns.
Actually, I was asking in the Instagram account of people had questions for Joel, and almost all of the questions were, how do I get Joel's boards? And could he make a board for me? So what's the status on your queuing and everything? Are you open for business or?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely open for business. There's a little bit of waiting time because I also have another full-time job. So I work on boards in my evenings and weekends. So, I try and get as much as I can done, but...
Would you consider working, if you had enough orders, would you consider a full-time job shaping boards, or is it something that you want to keep on a kind of part-time level?
Oh, no, I'd love to do it, I mean, I think back home in Australia I was getting a bit burnt out because you sort of, in a big factory, through my brother's factory at the time, they were doing like 250 to 300 boards a week.
That's crazy.
And... so you're just basically stuck with one position just as a sander or a glasser or a shaper or, finishing the boards. And it can get a bit monotonous. You just get burnt out on it after a while.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you're doing the whole thing yourself, it's a little bit more satisfying. You're creating something from nothing right to the end and pushing it out the door to give to someone and say, well, yeah, I made this.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, how can people contact you?
Just through Facebook, Instagram, or my email.
All right.
Pretty much, it's the easiest way to do it. I suppose everyone's using social media these days.
We're gonna post your email later, Joel. I want 10% commission, mate. No, that's
if people are able to find us, they will definitely find Joel. So, Joel, what's Fredrik? He should absolutely join the festival circuit and everything with this movie. I think he's got some potential there.
I was just talking to one of the guys from Ireland last night. One of the guys that surfs Mullaghmore. He's a South African guy. I think his Instagram is Sligo Kayak Tours. I know he toes in the boys on the ski a lot. Connor Maguire and those guys. I was chatting to him and he was just saying, he loved the movie and definitely you should chuck it in on the festival scene and do that whole thing. He said it'd go pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
After you started sharing some info and pictures and everything from the Icebox, up through the years, must have been so many people contacting you in direct messages and everything, asking where it is and asking to join and everything.
Yeah, I've had a few people from over the UK and people that have just been coming into the country and heading to the West Coast or something to see if they can hook up just before they go over there.
Well, it's no-go, isn't it?
Well, for one, Joel, I totally love the idea of you not giving up the position and like you say, people getting out there, and you're not against anyone getting out there and finding it for themselves, but the fact that you kind of keep it a little bit under wraps, I think is cool as hell.
Yeah, well, I try and give across that I'm not trying to scare anyone.
Do you kind of feel, as you're not a local and you haven't lived here forever, it's not your right to kind of do that? Do you get a little bit like that kind of feeling like you're still a little bit of a tourist in the country, so you kind of don't want to burn any bridges, you keep it a little bit under wraps?
Yeah, well, I know that there's
out of respect,
probably people that knew of the wave before I came across it.
Yeah.
And I can't say that I discovered the wave, but just was the first one to actually put focus on wanting to surf it. I've always got a welcoming attitude when I see people in the water, that if they, want to come out and surf, then I'm happy to, just share the moment with them and have a good time. Like I said in the movie, no one's got a right to sort of say, what are you doing out here? And I know that there are places around that people do have that attitude. So it sort of sucks when you sort of come out there and all of a sudden someone's sort of staring at you or, giving you the cold shoulder and doesn't really, want to make you feel welcome.
No, for sure.
I would be. You should just before we wrap things up, you should tell me. We need to. Has there been like any sketchy moments, or could you give us some juice from the inside from the Icebox?
Yeah, well, there was one moment where I took off on a really kind of heavy wedge, taking off, backdooring into it, and the whole thing like looked really makeable from the takeoff until I got to the bottom. But something happened where it warped out in the bottom, like with going into like a rudder or a hole in the shelf where it sort of flattened out, and the nose I'd made the drop and all of a sudden I was in the barrel, but then the nose sort of just sucked under. And as I was going like into a sort of a nosedive at the bottom of the wave, I was looking at the water was just draining off the ledge, and it was sort of breaking a wave back towards me like a little, like a ankle high,
like a mini ours,
little surge wave coming off the side of the ledge, and I was just like shit, like the wave's like double overhead, and I'm in ankle deep water, and I'm just thinking, where do I fall? Because if I fall at the bottom, there's nothing there to fall on except rock, and if I fall up to the face, then I'm going to get sucked over and thrown onto it. So all these thoughts are going through your head in a flash of a second, like, what do I do? And I just dived forward and tried to like body surf across the bottom, like just that curve, that apex of the curve of the barrel where it goes from flat to up, and just slide across that. And as soon as I started getting sucked up, I tried to like do like a barrel roll. So I was spinning myself back down instead of sliding and getting sucked up the face.
How did that work out?
Well, I still came in contact with the bottom pretty hard, but the board hit me in the back of the head first. And then I just got slammed and slid across the shelf and out the back into deep water. But I come up with a bit of a lump on the back of my head from the board, and that's where I tried, wearing the Gath helmet as much as possible after that.
That's a good idea.
That's insane.
There's nobody that's out there that
I'm
sees
just kind of thinking, these experiences, this is you by yourself in the middle of nowhere kind of thing. So,
There's nobody who can give you grief for the helmet anyway.
You can't cop any shit about the Gath helmet. It looked to me like back home, it's a bodyboard wave, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what I sort of say to my friends. It's like, I hate the fact that, you got the choice between a soft rolling wave and a 2-hour drive to get there, or something local, which is just like death staring in the face every time that you want to go for a surf. I just wish there was something in between, which there's not. So it rattles your confidence a bit sometimes, especially when you've had a month without a surf, and then all of a sudden like there's a good swell, and you're like, oh fuck, I got to go out there.
So it was just a warm-up wave, but there's no warm-up waves.
There's no warm-up wave. When I do go out there, I try and find one where maybe I'll just take a shoulder or something, and I just sort of check to see how quick I can get to my feet and judge it from there as to, like how much confidence I've got to take a decent wave.
Well, Joel, you're always welcome here on the West Coast.
Yeah, mate, you have to come over and get some waves. Yeah,
I'm definitely keen. It's been a really sad year over here, and it's had I think I've had one surf since the start of this year. So you guys are like probably 50 surfs up on me.
No, mate. We had like a month with the high pressure, and we had one surf in that time.
Yeah, but last month's been a bit slow. But previous to that, we actually had a really good build-up to the start of the winter. It was fantastic for a couple of months. So, it is seasonal like you have. But I just think, we're a little bit blessed because we have that opportunity where we can kind of, as long as there's swell, we can get a surf. Whereas you're kind of you're pinned down to degrees on the swell angles and the periods.
And you've got sand beaches over there, so you can still go out.
You can warm up over here, mate.
You've got a bit of variety, and you can still surf in the onshore conditions. Here it needs to be clean.
I had a few things from the movie which I really liked, and I don't know. Through the whole movie, it was you narrating everything, and I guess you were doing an interview or something, and you were narrating over the film, and they were showing the pictures of the wave and everything, and your missions. And then in the end, you got a friend joining you, a badge or something, and
Stan.
You went from narrating the thing to getting the actual sound of you guys hanging out and having fun. I thought that was a really genius move by Fredrik, the director.
Yeah, he did quite a good job. I was a little bit insecure, like once he put it all together and like the narrative side of it, because kind of what we did is sat down for an hour and he just come up with a whole bunch of questions and we did an interview and I just sort of laid out all my thoughts off the top of my head and just sort of rattled off a whole bunch of shit.
I guess it's a bit nerve-wracking until you actually hear everything at the end. You have no idea how it's going to be put together and how you're going to be portrayed, for example.
No, well, that's it, and like there's a few things there I was kind of like, I wish I had said that different. Of course. Maybe that's not going to come out right. And I said to him, maybe we can try and change that, but it just ended up with the sound and everything. It just didn't seem to blend in together and end up just having to stick with the original sort of narrative. And I just said, no, don't worry about it, just let it be. Don't change anything.
Well, you did a great job, mate. Yeah. We all you really enjoyed your movie, and thanks for putting the time and effort into being able to share it with us.
Thanks for entertaining us.
Thanks for the positive feedback, and I'm not copping too much flack. Not
at all, mate.
Not at all. Mate.
Saying something stupid that I regret now.
No, you're good.
Thanks for chatting to us, Joel.
Yeah, it's been really nice. Cool to catch up and have a talk. And
appreciate your time, Joel.
Yeah, all right, let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, buddy, we'll stay in touch and come over and join us for some surf. You always got a place to stay.
Let's have a chat over here next time.
Bring the missus too, there's room.
Yeah, exactly. Bring the family.
Bring the family.
Oh, definitely got to do it. I can't sit around waiting here forever, so...
Nah.
Yeah, I'll be over.
Perfect.
So, good to hear.
Perfect. Okay, thanks, mate.
All the best, buddy.
Bye.
Good evening. You too. Have a good evening, guys.
Yeah. Okay, ciao.
So, guys, that was Joel.
Yeah, it was great. It was good to get a little bit on the inside, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought, interesting to see his perspective and his story, what brought him here, and that's always interesting.
God gang. Ta oss, hvis dere ikke har sett The Icebox ennå, så er den tilgjengelig på, bare google det for faen, dere finner det. Så takker vi for oss. Glimrende innsats, Jaymin. Glimrende innsats, Per.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen, så de sier.
Tschüss.
Ha det godt.
Ha det.
All right, Smithy, the time has come, mate. Get ready. We're going to take our first ever call on Ain't That Swell Talkback.
Jaymin, yeah.
Welcome to Ain't That Swell, brother.
Oh, mate, boys.
Yeah,
Love
bro.
It.
Ain't That Swell Talkback.
Boys.
First guest. Mad.
Mate. I love the show, guys. It's mad. It's like 12 o'clock here in Norway.
That's right. You're in Norway, mate. Unbelievable.
Yeah, mate. In Stavanger on the west coast.
We get your photos and we see that you snowboard down to the water's edge and then paddle out. It's fucking wild up there, man.
Mate. No, exactly. Yeah, no, we've had the coldest winter actually in about 20 years. It's been like -8 for about 3 weeks now. Probably between about -3 in the day. And it goes, it gets cold. It gets down to like -10, -13.
Wow.
In the evenings, yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Heaps of snow.
I've got a question for you, Jaymin. If your dick spends that amount of time shriveled up, does it just like stay shriveled up? Does it lose some length?
Mate, well, that's the thing, because the chicks here are that hot. So what happens is it's like it keeps it. You've got constant blood in it, so you're fine, mate. There's no shrivel.
So it's the old in-out.
Hey, mate, you must be one of the most far north swellians on the planet. I can't think of too many crew who would be further north than you. What's the deal? How'd you wind up in Norway?
I was traveling the world as we all do, and I met a Norwegian girl, and I came up here for a bit of in out, and that was like in 1998. It was like it was like 22 years ago or something.
Wow.
So, I at first, I started. I moved here, and I met a bunch of guys at a surf shop. So I hooked up with them straight away. Like, started running a surf school. So, and realised, I was just like a kid in a candy store because I'd have like 8 chicks turn up to the surf school every weekend or during the week or whatever. So. Yeah, I was hooked, mate, from day one.
Classic, man. Classic. And what's the corn rinsing sitcho up there? Because some of the lineups you've sent through are pretty fucking up there, dude. Like, you got some great setups. What's the go, dude?
Mate, we got some. There's probably, like, in Norway, you've got a place up in the north, on the Lofoten Islands, which is insane. I think Mick Fanning and a lot of the guys that travel, there are probably a lot of the epic pictures you see with the mad mountains and the snow going down to the beach is from up the coast. Where I am is like further south, like it's the southwest coast. So it's a little bit flatter, but we got a lot more coastline here. Like, we actually get some really good quality waves in the winter, like really good spots. And there's another couple of little places a little bit closer to Oslo, but they don't really get the open sea, so they don't get much swell. So mate, like it gets like winter's consistent, but summer is kind of a drag. We don't get much swell in summer, so it's pretty seasonal. But I mean, if I'm going to live away from Australia and if I'm going to live anywhere in Norway, it would probably be here because it's like the place where you can surf all day and you can drive an hour and go up the mountain and go snowboarding. You kind of got everything at your fingertips, so it's
That's
classic.
huge, mate. And tell us, like, what are the sort of the threats to you out in the surf? Because, I mean, we've still got blue bottles and great whites here. What are you dealing with up there? Are you dealing with polar bears and killer whales and fucking... What sort of...
Yeah.
What keeps you out of the water up that way?
Well, mate, you know what? Believe it or not, there's not actually that much because the water's pretty cold. Like, we don't really get many sharks and stuff. We probably get more killer whales than sharks, but that's a little bit further north from where I am. Yeah, so believe it or not, it's probably the freeze that gets you the most. And I mean, the tech these days with the suits, it's pretty awesome. So, when I first moved here 20 years ago, the wetsuits weren't as good, so you couldn't stay out in the water as long. But seriously, the quality of the suits got so much better. So,
what are you rocking?
Everyone's kind of
Billabong furnace or the rip curl?
I've just changed over. XL's pretty big here. I'm actually rocking an O'Neill at the moment, but you kind of think about all those places they kind of surf cold water, and it's probably XL O'Neills and that make the thickest suits. Rip curls are all good too. So. Whoever can sling me a free suit, mate, that's basically what I'm wearing.
Nice one, mate.
And what about some of the local call lords? Like, who are some of the local tweakers and characters from up that way that are, hooked on getting coned?
Sven or Gustafsson?
Mate, we have a pretty sick little Aussie crew up here. We all hang together pretty tight. So me mate Sambo and Jace has just moved over from Byron, Jace Lake, and I've got another mate, Wes. Shafnar is over in Oslo, and Seamus. But probably there's a bunch of pretty cool local core lords. Probably the shout outs to Roar Burger. He was probably the original surfer who kind of surfed here back in the day. That kind of found a lot of the spots. Him and John Stout.
And
so
he was
shout out to those boys. He was on a few times for that.
This is the OG Wim Hof Smithy. He's just paddled out at some of these lineups in his little, tan stubbies and just surf with icicles hanging off his beard, come and just be like, "Roar!" Just ice bathing before it was popular, mate. Mate, look, before we get into... go for it, Jay.
But hey, love you, mate. I'd like to just shout out to you boys, mate. I've been hooked on the Sillians. I was like building a cabin in the summer out of the beach, and I had you guys on non-stop repeat. It was like the closest thing I could get to like sit in the pub at fucking at North Avoca, you know what I mean? I was just loving it, mate.
You could smell Kong's beer breath from Oslo, couldn't you, mate?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's cool as fuck because I grew up on the Central Coast, so I've like beats with Jug and all that. And so when I hear him on the show and, Ace and all the boys...
You can probably understand him. You can probably make sense of him.
The rest of us are struggling.
Speaking that local Sunny Coast dialect.
Yeah, mate. But I tell you, I've got all the local guys fucking stoked on it too. So, yeah, they always turn around looking at me going, what the fuck does he mean by that? What's he saying there? So...
Nah, up the Norwegian Swellians, mate.
How do you say up the Swellians in Norwegian?
Up is pretty much the same. So it's how could I say? Yeah, it's basically up to Swillians.
Perfect. I'm bilingual now.
Speaking our language, Smithy. So Jaymin, have you got a question for Ain't That Swell Talkback?
Oh, this is my question to you guys is fuck.
It's a good start, Ain't That Swell
Why are you
Talkback,
calling me
Smithy?
at 12 o'clock at night?
Oh, mate, we wanted to touch base with our brothers up in the north and our sisters up in the north. We just, it's just so cool that we've got crew who are getting out there and giving it a fucking crack up there in the fucking cold climates, mate. It's awesome.
I'd like to know why all those kooks out there are immune to the fucking rinsed coronavirus.
I'm glad the coronavirus isn't attacking the corn, because that would be a really ugly state of affairs, wouldn't it?
Ooh, yeah. We have to be a tricky thing to put your face mask over your dot every morning.
Imagine the swab testing. Imagine if it was
Imagine
if it was all just, instead of being in our mouth, in our corn, the whole shit show was just at the other end of the anatomy.
Have you had the test yet?
Just a complete rinse.
Have you had the test yet, mate? They really shove those things deep. I mean, to take a leaf out of Matt Hoy's book, if they're going to shove it in, well, at least let me jerk off at the same time, and I'll tell you when.
Yeah.
Now!
Exactly. at least get a mix out. Hey, you know what? I have got a question for you guys.
Go.
Are you 100% straight when you do the fucking episodes or what?
Mate, I'm never straight. I'm fucking. I'm bent as a
Maybe a couple
fucking.
of beers, or are you guys dabbling a little bit?
Mate, you don't play 18 seasons of football in South Sydney and come out of it straight. Put it that way.
Look, we try and keep it. We try and keep a grip on our mental state at the start of every episode, but fuck, it veers off quickly, Jaymin. It's a hard thing to keep control of, Smithy, isn't it? Especially when the coffee's flowing. That seems to be the number one.
Yes, boys.
Little bit of bean, little bit of psilocybin, little bit of CBD, little bit of Wim Hof, and a little bit of CTE, and a bit of PTSD.
Hey, Jetty, I grew up in Scum Valley, mate. I went to Bondi Beach Public.
Fair suck of the sauce bottle. You're joking. Are you kidding?
I grew up in Campbell Parade, mate.
Wow.
Campbell Parade. That's
no way.
Yeah, with the old man, the missus.
No way. The longest rant.
And who would think I'd end up on this side of the world? I tell everyone I'm from Bondi Beach, and they're just looking at me like I'm some kind of Australian cliche, you know what I mean? Pretty funny.
Well, hey, Jaymin, look, mate, it's been a pleasure to chat with you, and best of luck up there. Hope you get plenty of
love you guys.
Viz.
Love your work. Love everything you do.
On you, brother. Talk soon, mate.
It's Scum Valley's finest.
I'm going to come and have a beer with you when I get over there one day, all right?
You gotta.
100%. See you, mate.
Yeah. See you guys.
Fucking Swillians. There you go, Smith. First caller. What a legend.